Good morning children and welcome back to the class. In this session, once more we will go through the chapter. Let's begin the reading of the chapter. Chapter 3, Let's Travel. How did you come to school today? Did you walk or did you come by bus, car, auto rickshaw, bicycle, scooter or cycle rickshaw? The highlighted words are names of vehicles. The vehicles that we use to travel from one place to another are modes of transport. Changes in transport. Walking was the only way to go from one place to another. Then rafts were made. They were used to travel by water. Animals were used as a mode of transport. They carried goods and people. The story of transport. Long ago, there were no vehicles. People walked long distances. It took them a long time to go from one place to another. To travel by water, they tied logs of wood together and made rafts. Later, animals were used to transport people and goods. After a long time, the wheel was invented and carts were made. These were pulled by horses, mules and ponies. Today, most modes of transport use wheels. Much later came the bicycle, the train and the car, the airplane, helicopter and rocket followed soon after. Thus, modes of transport have changed over the years. Modes of transport. We do not use the same mode of transport to go everywhere. The vehicle we use depends on the location of the people, distance to be covered, time available and money we can spend. Sometimes we use more than one mode of transport to reach a place. There are three types of transport: land, water and air. The invention of the wheel soon led to the use of animal driven carts. Bicycle came to be used. They made travelling easier. Trains and cars made travel faster. Land transport, bicycles, scooters, motorcycles, cars, trucks and buses move on road. They are some modes of land transport. In some cities, people travel by metro. Metro trains run on special tracks. In some other cities, people travel by local trains. In Kolkata, some people travel by trams. In villages, bullock carts and tractors are quite common. Water transport. Water transport is the cheapest and the oldest mode of transport. Ships that take people across seas and oceans are called passenger liners. Ships that carry goods are called cargo ships. Boats and steamers ferry us across lakes and rivers. A port is a place where a ship anchors for passengers. To get on land, on and get off, and goods to be loaded and unloaded. Air transport. Air transport is the fastest mode of transport. Air travel started nearly 100 years ago. People use airplanes to go from one city or country to another. Airplanes are also used to send letters and goods. Helicopters can carry a few people. They are often used to take food and medicines to people in times of need. Modern modes of transport have made our life comfortable. However, most of them run on petrol and diesel. Petrol and diesel make the air dirty and cause air pollution. You will read about transport in lesson or 14. Transportation means to the movement of people and goods from one place to another. What does it mean? It means to the movement of people and goods from one place to another. Here are some examples of transportation: car, bus, train, auto, etc. Students, do you know why do we need transport? Okay, let me tell you. We need transport because it is the act, okay, of moving something from one place to another. And you know, if we want to move ourselves or anything from one place to another, if we want to carry anything from one place to another place, we need transport, okay. Without that, it is not possible. It is we need transport because all of life's necessities and pleasure is cannot possibly fit within the reach of our static bodies from birth to death. We either have to move ourselves to things, okay. If it is not there, what we will be doing or what we will do? We have to move ourselves to things or have things move to us. Story of transport. The history of transportation is as old as civilization. Early humans walked from place to place and even carried loads. With the passage of time, they learned how to use the animals like horse, donkey, camel as means of transport for traveling and as well as for carrying loads. Later, they were inspired by the rolling objects. The early humans then invented wheel, and it was the great invention of the early humans. In the present day, it still stands at the basis of almost all modern day means of surface and air transport. With the invention of the wheel, our forefathers made bullock carts, which were driven by animals like cow and ox. Now also you can see the bullock carts still in the village areas. Later on, bicycles were invented, which can still be seen in all the parts of the country. And with the invention of engine, tractors became popular as means of transport. So, as time passed, people started using bicycles, cars, trains, trams for their transportation. And now in the modern times, technologically advanced means different types of advanced vehicles are used for the transportation of the people and the goods. Modes of transport. Modes of transport is a term used to distinguish between different ways of transportation or transporting people or goods. The different modes of transport are air, water and land transport, which includes railways, roadways and off-road transport. Other modes also exist, including pipelines, cable transport and space transport, human powered transport and animal powered transport. In general, transportation is used for moving of people, animals and other goods from one place to another. The means of transport on the other side means to the motorized vehicles necessary for transport according to the chosen mode. Each mode of transport has a fundamentally different technological solution and some require a separate environment. Each mode has its own system, vehicles and operations. Land transport. It includes all those means of transport which moves on land, or the vehicles which moves on land are called land transport. It is divided into two parts, roadways and railways. The earlier roads were made up of mud and stones. So, they were called, what were they called? Kacha roads. Okay. And they were very rough and narrow. So, the carts which were driven by the animals, they were able to move easily there, but afterwards it became very tough for the motorized vehicles. Because why it became tough for the motorized vehicles? Because yes, they needed better and wider roads. So, these roads were turned up to the Pakka roads, which made smooth movement of goods and people. Railways, the most popular means of public transport in India is the railways. They help in large scale movement of goods and passengers. The British introduced the railways in India. The network of Indian Railways is the largest in Asia and the second largest in the world. The Shatabdi and Rajdhani trains are superfast trains which have a speed of over 100 km per hour. India has a luxury trains like the Palace on Wheels and the Deccan Queen. In India, goods are carried by goods trains. Metro trains operate within a city like Japan, France and Germany. These are having the trains that run at a speed of more than 400 km per hour. Bullet train of Japan and the maglev of China are also the superfast trains. Water transport. Water transport is the cheapest means of transport. It is very cheap. Ships require ports for loading and unloading. And in ancient times, people used rafts and boats, no? But for the discovery of steam engine, changed the water transport. Today, big ships operate with diesel or steam engines. Ships are used for transporting goods. Unlike olden days, nowadays ships move faster and carry more goods. Food grains, raw materials and mineral ores are transported by ships. A ship which carries petroleum oil is called an oil tanker. Okay, a ship which carries petroleum oil is called an oil tanker, and ships that carry goods, ships that carry bulky goods are called cargo ships. Items like vegetables, fruits, meat and dairy products are transported by refrigerated ships. Transportation through rivers is called inland waterways. Air transport. Airways are the most expensive and the fastest mode of transport. At first, man tried to fly by using balloons. It flew only 230 meters in 12 seconds. However, today there are many advanced aeroplanes which are huge in size and fly very fast. There are aeroplanes that can fly at a speed of 1000 km per hour, carrying nearly 400 passengers as well as a huge amount of cargo. In our country, government run Air India operates international and domestic flights. Air Asia, Jet Airways and Indigo are some private airplanes which run domestic flights in India. People use airplanes to go from one city to or one country to another. It is also used to send letters and goods, and helicopters can carry a few people and then they can use to take food and medicines to people in times of need.